You never know who's going to stop by our set in Las Vegas. This is Sirius XM NFL Radio's coverage of Super Bowl 58. Here's Alex Marvez and Dolphins fullback Alec Ingold.
This is a big day for Special Olympics, and our two guests joining us right now on Late Hits, Denver Broncos linebacker Alex Singleton and Special Olympics standout and health messenger Vince Egan are making the rounds on Radio Row to talk about today's launch of Special Olympics School of Strength Snack Zone Nutrition Campaign. This is the first ever nutrition campaign created for Special Olympics athletes. It's targeting athletes in their late teens and 20s to learn about the nutritional benefits of choosing healthier food options and how healthy snacks can help them feel stronger on the playing field. More information is available at www.specialolympics.org/snack-zone, and snack zone is hyphenated. Once again, specialolympics.org/snack-zone. We're going to learn about all this firsthand right now because we got Alex and Vince with us on set here, and we are fired up about that. And Alex, you're going to have to wait because I got Vince a question here first. I know having a good diet and making smart choices for food and drinks are important to you, and you're a big part about spreading the word about Snack Zone on the Special Olympics website. How did you become a Special Olympics health messenger, and what is the message that you're trying to share?
To show our young athletes to eat healthy and to get ready for game day or practices. That's always what I set, a positive role model for the younger kids, and even for my my group of age.
Yeah.
I help whatever I can do in those things. I'm a fitness captain in my area. I'm also representing here to talk to everyone about what we're doing here and talking about nutrition and all that stuff.
Very cool. Yeah, I think nutrition's a big-time deal. I'm a big Smucker's jelly sandwich guy. As soon as I can get my hands on them, I love them. What's one of your go-to, like you're in a rush, you need a snack immediately, you're about to play a game. What's your go-to snack that really feels like you can fuel the right way, a healthy way, and to set that positive role model for the athletes that you're working with?
I love me some peanut butter with some pretzels. Those are my biggest things. Even with the almonds, if there was a quick out the door situation. So, yeah.
Good. By the way, are you hydrating? Because I know that was a big deal for you.
Oh, yes.
Plenty of hydration?
Plenty of hydration. Going to the bathroom like crazy today.
Alex, you have used your platform to promote Special Olympics ever since coming into the NFL. I know your background, but can you please share the story with our listeners about how you got involved?
Yeah, my older sister has Down syndrome, so she's been in Special Olympics for 25 years. So my entire life, has had Special Olympics be a part of it. I've been a fan, a volunteer, a coach, an ambassador. So it's just been something that has been near and dear to my heart. I went from, just being a fan and loving my older sister to her friends, to the community. Now, with Special Olympics, U.S., with Special Olympics Colorado, and just being able to, represent and give each athlete and the organization a platform that I have to be able to spread the word, I think is so important.
Yeah, man, you live what you preach every single day, obviously playing against you a number of times throughout the year, right? We know each other really well. It's really cool to see your story, your family's testimony, and how you're bringing that purposefully into the white lines, right? Where do you feel like some of that transpired, or when did you get that call of like, this is the platform that I have now, and this is kind of why I play the game, not just what I do, but why I do it?
Yeah, I think, just growing up with my sister, seeing her and her friends, just the passion, one, they have for sports, and then how they take, their disabilities and make them an advantage, and how happy they are playing. It would be a literal crime for me if I didn't walk on the field and have a smile on my face every single play, because I get to do what they love to do for a job. And so to not take advantage of that and not be able to put them on a platform, but also just, the way I live my life and the way I play the game, to do that without a smile, I mean, like I said, it would be a detriment to myself.
Broncos linebacker Alex Singleton and Special Olympics multi-sport athlete Vince Egan are with us here on Radio Row, Sirius XM NFL Radio, for the launch of Special Olympics School of Strength Snack Zone Nutrition Campaign. More information on this, www.specialolympics.org/snack-zone. Alex, you and Alec were talking off air about an interesting moment in NFL history that took place in week 3, if I'm not mistaken.
It was early.
Week 4. It was.
I don't remember much of it.
Yeah, I think it just was sort of
wiped it out of the system.
Leave that out of there. But it was that 70-20 Miami Dolphins record-setting win. But you know what's so interesting? Your Broncos team, came back. They survived. It was not a harbinger of things to come. This was a wild season. Ups, downs, everything. What will you remember most about this season in Denver?
Yeah, I think one thing, after that game, we had a lot of young guys, and coming from the college football landscape, it is if you lose a game, you're done. Right. And a lot of guys, they'll opt out or transfer or do whatever. We had 14 more games after that, and it's kind of like, hey guys, just to let you know, we could lose 3 games this bad. If we go 14-3, we'll be the number 1 team in the NFL, whether you lose 70-20 or 7-3. So it doesn't matter. You got to put it behind you, and obviously we had a lot of work to do. There was a lot of mistakes. A 70-20 loss isn't one guy, and so we were able to go in on Monday, and kind of that was the message sent to the team, and I think everybody just kind of grasped that by the horns, and we were able to get better. And that's what I think the NFL season is hard for a lot of people to realize. It's not about, I guess, who comes out of the gate the hottest. As you see with the Chiefs, they were playing well early, but they weren't a full team yet early in the season. I think it took them till week 13, 14 to really start showing that, and even through these playoffs to be that kind of team, a championship caliber team. And so it's such a long process, and I think that's what I learned the most is that to go into next season, we need to remember, our 5-6 game win streak, but we also need to remember how it felt to lose those games early and kind of not have to do that again. And because, we obviously not the Miami game, but we had, 2 or 3. We had a Raider game early. We had a Jets game. We had, a Washington Commanders game. Yeah, if we pull those off, we're in the playoffs. So those are those little things that we need to, remember and, take into this next season.
Alex, I love just the idea of the process and how you can use those results for some good, right? And to continue on your mission and refine all of those skills, the heartaches, to be able to go on those win streaks and be able to see that. So I'm going to take this over to Vince. What is the biggest process that you get when you're competing? You got the results going on. How do you find ways to get better throughout a year, throughout competitions? What are some of the best ways, favorite ways you love to improve every single day?
Eating right, of course, and also the practice daily. I had to put into my mind because practicing is very hard for me to get going on. But the way that I enjoy doing is figuring out to get more healthier. So I can get ready for a long season for a lot of my sports, trying to stay in shape and doing the things that I want to do to stay healthy. It's very hard to do. I know my summer sports are coming up soon. Golf is my biggest, my biggest favorite sport. I try to get myself more healthy so I can prepare for that long season because I am trying to get more healthy to get stronger in that field to eating better.
Talking with Vince Egan, Special Olympics multi-sport athlete, and of course Alex Singleton, Broncos linebacker, right here on Late Hits. And again, for more nutrition information, this is important stuff, folks, especially if you've got, listen, Special Olympics athletes, regular athletes in their late teens and 20s, eating right is so important. You can get more information about this at specialolympics.org/snack-zone, specialolympics.org/snack-zone. Alex, you mentioned the Kansas City Chiefs and how this became a different team down the stretch. One question you won't have to answer next year, when are the Broncos going to beat Kansas City again? Because we know that took place in Week 8. The 16-game losing streak ended. But you're seeing a different Chiefs team now. When you watch them, because you know them so well, what is Kansas City doing differently? What are they doing better on both? Defense has always been pretty good there, but on offense, maybe, how have they recalibrated?
Yeah, one, I think their defense stepped up huge this season.
Yeah.
I think, they've been able to kind of ride that offense, and this year they didn't, and, they're playing as a top 5 defense this entire season. But I would say their young receiving core, I think Rice has stepped up huge in these last 6 or 7 weeks. When we played them, they were using him. He was on the field, but they weren't using him very much, if that makes sense. And so you could, certain positions he was in, you could predict the plays they were going to run. Now he's turning into a number 1 receiver for them, which they've been looking for all season. And now that they've got one, they've had one, throughout this playoff run, and you can tell, and it's something that they were looking for. They found it, and it's worked out pretty well for them.
Yeah, man, it's cool to see those number 1 receivers, or that process that we're talking about. Vince is talking about getting healthier. Those processes, the growth throughout a season, and that was my favorite thing watching the Broncos play this year. You guys have some adversity. You have a new coaching staff, and to be able to rally around, use that adversity to bring you guys together. That's what gets me so excited as a competitor to see these Broncos coming up soon, because they're riding high, man. They turned it around and did their thing.
Hey, one last thing before we let you run. Vince, I know you're an Eagles fan. You're living in Colorado, though. Alex is a former Eagles player. Has he been able to try to get you converted into a Broncos fan? It's not going to work?
No, not going to work.
That's
Did you
it?
hear that, just how quick that was?
Yeah,
That's it.
No.
He was ready to rip off a Fly Eagles fly at any time.
Yeah, I'm wearing their shoes right now, so
Heck yeah.
I got to represent a little bit.
I understand. Well, Vince Egan, you do a great job representing Special Olympics. So do you, Alex Singleton. And by the way, again, the launch today, Special Olympics School of Strength Snack Zone Nutrition Campaign, the first ever nutrition campaign created for Special Olympic athletes. More information, specialolympics.org/snack-zone. Alex, Vince, thanks for joining us here on NFL Radio.
Yeah, thank you guys.
You.